video of the day and the trades that I took today during the section. So first, let's start with Amazon, which was the first trade of the day on the long side. So with calls. So let's put Amazon real quick. Go to Amazon. So this was my first trade and the smallest trade of the day on Amazon. Took this trade with a small position. So Amazon made a support around 183.72, which when we got to 183.72, I got in with calls because it got rejected around that support, so it just bounced from there. I got in with calls, and we got this like little move to the upside, small position. We literally got like 10 to 15% in profit, which is like really really small compared to what we did in Meta, AMD, and Tesla. Uh, Tesla was my first stock today when it becomes to profit. So let me show you real quick the trades that I took on Tesla. So as you can see right here, we got my price levels. So basically this is like my support, resistance, my take profit, and my stop losses most of the time. So as you can see, this is my price level 29. That's my entry price. So if we look today on Tesla, you can see the price that it opened, it just went down really, really strong to the downside. Then it made a support around 168.40, 168.35. That's why you see this wide line over here, straight. Then it bounced up to like 169.86. You can see this bounce over here to 169.86, which it got there, and then it just went down again to retest the lows of 168.35. Then they give me the confirmation to go to the upside, which is just for the break of this highs over here of the day. Not even the highs, but like just the break of that is most of the time is confirmation for it to go to the upside. Then my first take profit. So as you can see, this is my entry. This is where I got in with a big position. My first take profit, so basically 20% out of the position, albeit around 171.10, and from there it went up all the way to my second take profit, which I'll take out like 60 to 70% out over here, and I'll leave like 10 or 15 just to run the rest of the day. And that 10 to 15%, I took it out around 176. So if we go to the top and put this on the 5 minute real quick, um, you can see the 176 around here. So that was my fully out. Like I took everything out on that position. My first take profit, I had it around 171.20 just because if we go to back on the 3 minutes, you can see that we had like a nice resistance around that level. So it was just getting rejected most of the time around there, or just making a support like how it did right here a couple days ago. So that's why that was my first take profit. And yeah, then we went short on Tesla, which is the opposite way of going long, obviously. So we did make some good money going up on this trade. Then we did a trade on the opposite way. When it got to 177 19, you can see how it was getting rejected on this top over here. So it went down to 175, almost 176. Let me take this line out because that means nothing to me. So you can see how it tried to bounce up and make like try and do like a retest of that 177.19, but it never did that. So I got in on the short right over here around 176.15, and it just went all the way down. And I did use my TP2, so my take profit. I did use this one to take some out, so I took some of the position out around here on this move, on this little move to the downside, which it was already like $2 move to the downside, almost three, but I was up around 60-50% on those contracts that I had. and I went fully out around, not even close for market. When the market closed, it went all the way down to 170, 110, but I got out around 173, so I left a lot of money on the table. But with the first trade that we took from all the way from the bottom, if we go to the 5 minutes real quick, you can see we took this from 176, almost 169, all the way up to 173, and then from 176 all the way down to 173. So two great trades on Tesla today. Same thing on Meta. We almost did the same thing. You can see my price levels over here on this side, which I got in around 521 and made a nice support this morning. I was not looking for going long on Tesla because Tesla is all-time highs. So most of the time I don't trade this kind of company. I know I got all this line, so don't worry about it. I'll take it out for tomorrow. So tomorrow video, it's not gonna have all these lines and things, but let me go back on the 5 minutes and explain why I got in on this and how we took this trade real quick. So let me go right here. So basically, what I did on this trade, as you can see, Tesla did open around 517.86, like close to 516 basically. It got up, so it went up pretty good at open, and then we just consolidating between like 524 and 520. It went down again almost to the open price, which was around 516, and from there just it was trying to bounce up to 523, which it was all-time highs again. So that's why I have my entry around 521. I know it's a little bit earlier because most of the time my trades I'll get in for breakouts or just all the way at the top. I'm explaining how I took the second trade on Meta, but my first trade I got in a little bit early just to see if it's gonna break to the top. And if the break doesn't happen, I'll just get out, break even, or take like a small loss of like 2 or 3%, and I'll be out. So I got in around 521.43, and we took this trade all the way up. As you can see, my first TP, so I'll be taking 20% out, 20 or 25 around there, right at all-time high. So you can see, you see this candle, how high it went from like 522.70 all the way up to 524. So that'll be like a 30-cent move to the top, which is really good when it comes to options. They will move pretty good every time it goes to like a breakout or something like that. So I took out like 20%, and from there we brought it up all the way to 527, which this is almost like, let me see exactly how much it is. But when it becomes, so I'll be almost $6 move. So when it comes to option, I'll be like close to 3 or close. Yeah, I'll be close to 3 or more than $3 move, which is pretty good. And then we got in. I did the same thing on the short side. Same thing we did on Tesla. Basically, from all the way from the top, we run it down to the bottom. So Tesla make like triple top, not even double top, or none of that. It was making almost triple top on around 530. Never went up to 530 again. It was getting rejected around 529.70. So on the first push down to 527.50, it tried to make a retest of that 528, 529. It couldn't, so I got in on the short right here, and we just pushed this all the way down to my first take profit, which is 523.85. When I make this retest, I took some out, so I didn't take out like all the way at the bottom. I took out on this retest to 523.85. And from there we brought it down all the way to 517. That's where I got out fully out. But I did left a lot of money on the table too, because before the market closed, which the market closed at 4 p.m., right? So it went all the way down from 517 all the way down to 511, which that's a crazy move. So yeah, I did left a lot of money on the table, but we did make a lot of money with Tesla and Meta. I also took a trade on AMD on the short side, which I was late for the party because AMD just got destroyed today. This company got destroyed today to the bottom side. You can see my entry was late on AMD, which I got in around 179.50, around 180. So all the way at the top, and I just let it run all the way down to 173.56, which it was kind of like a support area. So if we go back on the 4 hours, you can see it was using this area like around like for like a support. So I did took out some of my contracts there. I had way over 100 contracts, which is a lot of contracts. So I did took out a lot, like 40, 70 of those, and I left a little bit more just to run it. And I'm still have a few left for tomorrow, which is not that good because um, if you guys don't know, when it becomes to options, if you day trading the contracts expiring on Friday, they lose 20% every day of that week if they expiring on Friday. So the last week of day expiring, yeah, they'll lose 20% each day. So if it doesn't go down, if AMD doesn't go down, automatically I'll be losing 20% on those contracts because they will move down a little bit more than what they are. So let's say if they close, if those contracts they close like over $2, automatically when it opens tomorrow they'll be opening around like 180 or like 175. So they'll be opening a little bit lower, and they will open lower if AMD decides to go up a little bit more. But yeah, I'm on the short side, and AMD with like 25 contracts left, which is not that much, but yeah, it's going great right now. This is just I feel bad for the company right now. But yeah, this thing got destroyed today. They didn't trade Nvidia today, but Nvidia did had some good trades today to the short side too. As you can see, Nvidia got this is all these lines are old. They traded a couple weeks ago, but yeah, as you can see from 903, this thing got destroyed to the downside, and basically the market was just following the whole thing. It just let's say AMD was just following basically Nvidia, but it also had bad news. So another thing is Disney. I got in my other account, as you can see, I got a few accounts. That's why it says all accounts on the top. But on my second account, I got Disney on the short side. Since yesterday, because it had bad news yesterday, really bad news actually. So I got in on the short side from yesterday. It had bad news around 2 o'clock. So I got in yesterday with a few contracts to the short side, which I took some out today when it got up a little bit right here. I took some out and the profit already, so some good profit. And from there, I left a little bit more, and right now this thing got destroyed too, just like AMD, Nvidia, and everything else. At the end of the day, yeah, some report came out, some job thing came out. I haven't read the news yet, but I'll read it later. But yeah, this company they got destroyed today in the afternoon. So we got over 296% in profits today, which is crazy. If we're talking just about like cash, how much you made, it was over 11 bands, which is crazy. Just a good day.